Bill and Ryan Show with Eric, featuring Special K and Sam.
With Eric. That's right. In case you missed that news, guys, we signed 5 more years with KRBE. So you have us in your morning routine for 5 more years.
Hopefully more after that.
And it is now called The Real and Ryan Show with Eric. And, of course, we love to take your calls at 833-390-KRBE. Today is Super Bowl Monday.
The morning after.
An estimated 22.6 million American workers planned to miss work today. That breaks the previous record of 18.8 million. And on top of that, 12.9 million employees said they had planned to go to work late today.
Now, did they plan this in advance? Like
I
they
always
knew they were
did.
going to be out?
Like I'm just usually I always went to
Yes.
Vegas. I'd always take this Monday off, so I'm gonna do that next year, and the following year we all get it off because it really reminded us.
It's President's Day.
The 2
On that
years.
Monday.
So we got 2 more years.
From 2 years now.
And then everyone's gonna love it, and then they'll make that a
National
thing.
holiday.
22.6 million people are the people who planned to miss it already. That does not count the number of people who are like just
it
making an
hungover,
audible.
sick, yeah.
Like, I'm not going to do this. Okay, we're going to the phones at 833-390-KRBE. We're talking about the Super Bowl last night. Super Bowl licks.
Everything and anything.
59 LIX lose. Hi, welcome to the Real and Ryan Show with Eric. Good morning. Happy Monday.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You're like, good morning. I'm awake. It's
Barely.
fine. What would you like to say, lose? What would you like to share with us your opinion of the Super Bowl last night?
Oh, I was so proud to see Hertz out there. He was amazing. He is from our side of town.
Yeah.
And,
Channel View.
yes. Channel View. And so my daughter even texted me last night because she lives closer to that area. She says, Mom, there are fireworks going off everywhere because everyone is
that's nice.
celebrating.
That's
He's
so
a really
nice.
humble guy. He is. My daughter's.
He's humble.
You can say he's humble if you're humble.
Humble is an area here in Houston, but you can be humble.
I love that.
Humble from humble.
Yes.
Do you know if does he live back here? Does he come back during the off season? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I do know that he is a really, really great guy. And you know, as you can tell when they spoke with him after the game, he just, gave a lot of praise to God.
Yep.
And just was very modest. I thought he was very modest. He didn't gloat. He didn't brag. And that's what I'm
He's
really
got every right to
appreciative of.
brag. He is the first Houstonian who's a Super Bowl MVP.
Yay.
Yeah, and yet he didn't ask for glory. I mean, he was just really amazing. We were just excited to see him over at Little O'Neill's on North Alexander.
Oh, cool.
It was
cool.
a lot of fun.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, Jalen Hurts, Jalix Hunt, and Braden Mann, 3 Houston area kids, grew up and played in the same Super Bowl and won last night.
And think about
The
Jalen.
Eagles.
A couple years ago, he lost the Super Bowl, and they say usually you never get back there. Well, they
2
showing the
years
stat.
later.
They
Like
showing-
the odds, the likelihood that you'd be in the Super
To
Bowl more
win.
than once.
Yeah, I think there's only like 2 other quarterbacks or 3 other quarterbacks that have done that.
Wow.
Wait, to go back to
And
just
win.
in general? Oh,
Like-
and win.
Like that, what he did.
To go back
for
and
the
win.
Eagles or something, they were saying.
No, there's a lot of stats. You're going to have to fill me in later on that because my head could spin with all those stats.
He's
I
such
don't know
a,
how people keep up on
Neither.
track on that.
I think you can do it when you're younger. Like I knew every baseball card. I knew every their averages,
Yeah.
home
'Cause
runs.
you don't have as much in your life.
And then once you find girls, you kind of throw that away.
Like, I don't know my
I
stats
have
anymore.
more important things. This is going to go down on the priority
Yeah,
list.
from 11 to 14, 15, you know all that stuff. 'Cause that's your life. And then you realize cars and girls.
William's up next at 833-390-KRBE. Hi, William. Good morning. Welcome to the Real and Ryan Show with Eric.
Good morning. Good morning.
What did you
morning.
think of the Super Bowl yesterday?
What Super Bowl?
So wait, did you just check out because the score was so pathetic, or you're just not a football person?
No, don't get me wrong. I'm an all-time Atlanta Falcons fan. I've been an Atlanta Falcons fan for 15 years already. But
I'm sorry.
The whole time that we were watching the Super Bowl, we're campaigning our new D&D story that's coming along.
Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh, you're a D&D player.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, do you do
Yes, sir.
fantasy football as well?
No, I don't do none of that.
So why were you doing the Dungeons and Dragons thing? Because it wasn't entertaining? Did you plan to do Dungeons and Dragons planning or whatever?
Yeah, we've been doing Dungeons and Dragons for about 2 years already. And
That was more entertaining than the game for you.
that was more entertaining. So it's me, my wife, my friend, his wife and my brother-in-law, we all do a D&D sesh every other Saturday.
Hey, if it makes you
That stuff
happy.
blows up, man. My son plays that stuff. I'm like, what?
Really?
Because I never understood it. But he'll play with, like, even my cousin, and they're adults.
Like campaigns and
people,
strategies?
Get these groups together. They're like,
wow.
It's a big comeback the last
So,
I
5
love
years.
I love a game with strategy. So that's cool. That's commitment.
Yeah, William, did you check out of the game or did you actually ride it through to the end
No,
to
we
see
were
the end?
watching it through the whole time. You know, I mean, we were glad that the Chiefs didn't get their third win. So that was the most interesting thing about the game.
Did you find it boring?
And then it wasn't too boring. We were cheering whenever the Eagles ran a touchdown and giving props to Jalen Hurts being a Houstonian and the other two players too as well. You know.
Yeah, it's like we had something to cheer for them.
And there's another.
Right.
There's another. Actually, you know what? Somebody else said there was another Houstonian on there. Hold on. Ray? Who else are we missing from Houston that was on the Eagles? Hi, Ray.
He's from Galveston. Hey, good morning.
Morning.
He's from Galveston. It's Tristan McCollum.
Oh yes.
He's from Galveston Ball.
He's
Oh,
if you look at him, he's a safety, and
Yes,
he's
he's a
from
safety.
Galveston.
What year did he start playing?
He's 25 years old, so this is this his first season?
I don't know if he played with like Mike Evans because he's from
No,
Galveston.
one of them is with his twin brothers with Mike Evans' team.
Oh wow, that was a good
I'm
team.
saying, oh yes, because I forgot. Somebody said something like, "Oh, Galveston has a representation in the Super Bowl." I didn't pay attention to the whole story.
Because Mike won with Tampa Bay with
Yeah,
Brady.
but I think this is their second year. I believe this is their second year, and
Okay.
it's him and his twin brother. But the brother played for the Bucks, and he played for the Eagles.
Wow,
That's amazing.
that's awesome.
I know, right?
Okay, that's good to know.
And they
I'm
came
gonna
out of
write him
Sam
down, too.
Houston.
That's a
Tristan
talented
McCollum.
family.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, Tristan McCollum. I'm writing that one down too. We got 4. That's 4
Okay.
from the H-Town area that we had playing for the same team last night. That's pretty awesome. It wasn't like half and half, right?
Oh, yeah.
I forgot that y'all oh God, what's his name? Hopkins. I forgot he was a Chief. And when he caught the pass
He
at the
missed
end,
a
I
great
go,
easy
oh,
one too.
no.
I'm like, oh, damn.
I should have been cheering for him. I totally forgot, but it's fine.
Nah.
Whatever it is. He has his AFC championship ring. It's fine.
I don't think he
guess
wants
it's the
that.
same.
He wants the Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
I know he does, but those other rings are.
He
And
can come
you know
back
what?
to the
Here's my
Texans.
thing. I thought all of those former players would be flexing their rings. I mean, if you're ever going to wear your ring, it's Super Bowl weekend if you're on TV. And most of those guys who are on the desks and the tables for every network who were former players who won with teams. They were not flexing their rings. I did not see almost
It's
anybody
annoying
wearing their
because,
Super Bowl ring.
Like the Bradshaw's, Jimmy Johnson, those guys were all like going downtown, and they had to go back to the Caesar Dome, whatever it's called, the Palace, whatever it's called,
Caesar Superdome.
Superdome. They had to go back and forth. They probably didn't want to carry that stuff around.
Well, I'm not talking about Terry Bradshaw. I'm talking about the
That's
newer
heavy.
guys.
Imagine Tom Brady
Oh.
doing it with all his rings
What
on
did you
his
see,
fingers.
Belichick?
On
you
every
imagine?
finger.
Belichick went to the honors wearing all the rings with his 24-year-old girlfriend.
Oh my God.
And she had a ring, but it wasn't
thought
his. It was her ring. She won for something.
Every time I see those
Okay.
two together, I think he's
I
with
saw
his
the clickbait.
granddaughter. Like,
Yeah.
she looks so, I mean, like,
Well, they're
she's
50
a
years
baby.
apart. It's
It just-
disgusting.
It just, man,
Like,
that-
she
to
looks
me-
older than 24, to be honest.
No, she doesn't. She looks very young.
I said I personally think that she
No,
looks
Sam,
older
you do
than
not.
24.
I'm fired up. Sorry. I apologize.
This person said, I'm a Texans fan, true and true. But I'm also a Philly fan. I went every game to Patterson's Bar, which is Eagles own in Houston.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There you
Patterson
go,
Bar,
Kev.
I didn't know that.
You got to go to that bar.
I mean,
That's
Hang on.
Eagles
isn't
owned,
that
like
in
the-
the Heights?
Does
no,
everyone
it's
say
probably
Woodard there?
gosh, I hope so.
Where?
You got to
You
go
want
on
a
a,
Scotch and Water?
yeah, go on an order of water. y'all have been hearing me say it for 18 years. Still can't say it
Water.
right.
Water.
No, y'all can't even repeat it right
It's
the way
water.
I
I
say it.
think since
Water.
your
Water.
Eagles won, Kev, you need to bring us cheesesteaks.
Wait, I thought we were going to have someone professional bring cheesesteaks.
Well, Sam mentioned last week that she went to Nico Nico's and she liked them.
Yeah, call them
there.
up. Tell them to bring us some.
And
I don't think I have the pool like Rilla does.
well, I was talking to my
the
husband
Greek-
was
the
talking
Greek
to
card.
I just
Dimitri
named
Fedakakis,
Rilla.
who owns Nico Nico's, on an unrelated thing.
Yes.
Because we go to church together. And I told Tassos, hey, tell Dimitri that Sam said she really likes his Philly cheesesteaks. He goes, come on, tell me when to bring them. I said, well, if the Eagles win,
So good.
maybe we can do it for Try It Tuesday.
Okay,
And the Eagles
deal.
won.
I think so.
So a Greek
Yeah, yeah,
place
maybe
is
next
making
week.
Philly
So we-
cheesesteaks.
now,
You
did
try
they
that.
are they doing it with ribeye or doing it with gyro?
I have not had it, so Sam's one that can tell
I thought
us.
it was ribeye. I don't think it
It's
was.
gonna be
Yeah, they
ribeye.
would make a gyro
Yeah.
steak.
No.
That'd be a
That's
Philly-
just a gyro pita.
Yeah, I
Right.
don't-
Yeah,
Well-
this is a gyro. Like, get a gyro from
No.
It's a
them.
Philly Santorini special.
Fillerini.
Fillerini.
No, Fillerini.
Yeah. Since the Eagles won, we will be eating Nico
I have a
Nico's
Fillerini.
cheesesteaks, hopefully. Let's just see how that plays out.
Yummy.
Most people who are calling in either weren't entertained at all by the score and just were like, meh. They thought it was mid. Only like a couple of people were like, oh, it was so fun. It was
I'm
so
just happy
great.
to see Irvin and Ahmad. They loved Kendrick Lamar's
Yeah.
halftime show.
I think that's
I felt like it should have
polarized.
been had more flair to it.
I
just
really was
more.
waiting for like a retro act to
Yeah.
join him because that's usually what they do. You know what I mean? They bring somebody out.
Like
that's like a
Serena Williams
surprise
came out,
retro.
give her a racket and hit some balls.
Oh my God.
No, she was just dancing.
Well, it was all
Didn't
kind
they
of.
crip walk?
I think Special K summed it up best. It was just very even keel throughout the whole thing. There wasn't a change in pace or tempo.
Like I'm not going to say the
It was
worst
nice
ever.
that there wasn't nudity on the stage. Like everybody
Yeah.
was dressed up. Like, you know, there was not nudity, but like a lot of skin.
People were clothed.
Usually people are like barely and they're
And
shaking
for
their
anyone that
rumps.
says this is the worst Super Bowl halftime ever, go to YouTube today and Google Super Bowl halftime shows in the 70s and
Oh,
60s.
yeah.
Oh my God, the
Up
worst.
with people. Look at Up with People.
yeah,
the worst.
bunch of people holding hands and clapping and
Terrible.
And you know, you get all these stats come to your threads on Instagram. They showed the very first pop culture group to ever do the Super Bowl act was the New Kids on the Block, but they got cut off. Nobody actually ever saw them sing because they had to cut to breaking news because the Gulf War started.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
So it was in 1990, and they did not show them on TV in the halftime show.
Why don't they have like, I'm not a big country fan, but I know how big country
yeah,
is.
I would think a country artist come in.
You figured they
Especially with crossover
you
country
could
and
get like
top
3 or
and
4
pop.
country artists, but I'm
There's
Because
not
you
been a
could
country
fuse
show.
that together with pop, because country is
maybe
pop.
Jay-Z runs it. Maybe he's like, I don't want country. Maybe he doesn't like country. His
There
wife
was
did.
a
His wife-
country
Jay-Z
show.
was
wife could be the
somewhere
lead for
in the
country.
90s.
She could start it off.
I know,
Yeah.
right? She could start off with Texas Hold'em and then go into Reba.
Yeah. There you go.
And then Dolly. And then
Brandon
Luke
Morgan.
Bryan comes out.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So coming up next, we want to know from you, how did you catch your cheater? Unfortunately, a lot of relationships end up failing because of infidelity. Here on our show, we do roses, of course, where we will call up your mate while you listen on the line and find out where the red roses are going to go. But you didn't need roses to find out your mate was a cheater.
You
Tell
just
us
knew it.
how you figured it out. Yeah, something gave it away. You figured it out.
Maybe it was since Valentine's Day is coming up. Maybe it was last year's Valentine's Day and they sent the wrong flowers
Oh.
yeah.
to the mistress. Went to the wife. Vice versa.
833-390 KRBE. Let's hear your stories. Next on the Rule and Ryan Show with Eric.
Phone. How'd you catch a cheater on the Rule and Ryan Show with Eric?
104.1 KRBE.
Oh, yes.
Didn't need us.
How did you catch your cheater? You do not need roses because you figured it out on your own, unfortunately, but you are here to teach us now. Whether you are the one that was the cheater and you got caught, or you were in the relationship and you were suspicious and you caught them. 833-390 KRBE.
You know, one of my very best friends in the world is a divorce attorney, and he echoes what Rule always says, trust your gut. He said, in cases where you suspect, 99% of the time, you are right.
Listen to that second brain, y'all. It's there for a reason, that gut instinct. Okay, Brenda is up first. Again, our number is 833-390 KRBE. Hi, Brenda. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Before you tell us how you caught your cheater, tell us the background of the relationship with this person. Married for how many years? Boyfriend, long-term relationship? What was it?
We had been married to my husband for 9 years.
Okay.
We had, the year before had been really bad. We had just buried my mom, and it was difficult. We were struggling with that. And
Oh, your phone's cutting out.
we had, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah. So your mother had passed away. You're going through a tough time emotionally.
Right. And his behavior, he was a creature of habit, and all of a sudden he was acting differently. So I knew something was up.
Mm-hmm.
What was the
And he,
different thing? Like he was talking about somebody a lot, or going to the gym, or going on extra errands?
Going to the
clothes.
gym.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So he's
Going
changing his
to the
routine.
gym.
He wants to look better.
All right. So then at what point do you
And,
get that sick stomach feeling like, I think there's somebody else?
His behavior just wasn't the same. He started being mean.
Mm.
He started arguments for no reason.
Yep.
So I went to the gym. I went to both locations that he told me he would be at, and he wasn't there, so I knew something was up.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry.
then what was the next step? How'd you figure that out? So then would you figure out where he really was?
Well, I had a spare iPhone, so I downloaded an app called Footprints.
Okay.
Footprint.
You can set up parameters on the app,
Okay.
and I threw it in the back of his trunk. And when he goes outside those parameters, it'll send you texts and emails. And it told me that he went outside those parameters. So it actually gave me the coordinates of where he was at.
Oh, my gosh.
Girl, you did not go over there.
Did you?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Where was he?
He was at a motel.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
That's the thing.
Was it with a person that he knew, or was it a hired hand that he was with?
I have
Hired
no
help.
idea. They called the cops on me. So
They called the cops on you?
What did you do wrong?
yes.
She went busting through that
but
door.
She got a shovel.
I didn't do anything wrong. They said that they wanted me off the property because I wasn't a paying customer.
Oh, okay.
Okay, hold up. How'd they even know? Unless he saw your car and called the front desk and said, get that lady off the property. She's not staying here.
The girl called.
Oh, man.
Okay.
So you find out, for those just tuning in, it's called the Footprint app. Brenda threw it in the trunk of her husband's car, an extra iPhone, and it showed the parameters that she had put where he should be. He was outside the parameters. She went to the location. It was a motel. And when you showed up, do you know who the girl was, or did you ever get to see her, or how far
No.
did y'all take it?
She never came out of the room.
Oh, okay.
But he came out.
He came out, but she never came out of the room.
What
and
did
then
he say?
That's when he told me to go home.
What?
So he did not admit to do any wrongdoing.
The fact that
He told me he never loved me. And we ended up, of course.
Hey, can I ask you about that footprint, that extra phone? Was that phone, were you paying for the phone or was it just a dummy phone? Like you don't pay?
Yeah, it was an active line.
It was active.
It was
okay.
an active line.
I didn't know if you didn't have to be active and you could have an app to your
For
phone.
most people, they cannot afford having a second phone. Recommend get an AirTag. You can hide that anywhere in the car.
But the problem is the AirTag shows up.
And it makes a beep.
AirTag will tell you if it's on
someone's
there.
tracking
You're
you.
connected to your
What she
phone.
did was way
Yeah.
smarter because
Yeah.
it's not going to say footprints follow
And it can
me.
set parameters.
AirTag, you know if someone has an AirTag
Right.
around you.
Brenda, one more question. When you show up to the motel and your husband tells you to go home, obviously he has no shame in his game and does not care that you have found him at a motel. But what was the after, like the next day? I mean, didn't he have to come home? I mean, did he just disappear?
Is that when he said, I don't love you anymore?
Yeah, where did it go from there?
He showed up at my house with his parents, and he got his stuff and moved in with his parents.
Oh, God. I bet their parents are proud of that loser.
So, but you guys are
I'm
divorced,
sorry
right?
you went through that.
Yeah, you guys are gone.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
I've been divorced 7 years now.
Where are you at now? Are you seeing anybody, or are you just still too hurt to go out there and date?
I'm healed now, but the dating pool is trash, so I prefer to be single.
It's trash.
That's what people are saying.
That is so funny. Dating pool is trash. All right, Brenda. I'm sorry that happened, but I'm glad to know what you just taught a lot of people something. So hopefully you helped out the next person. We really appreciate you sharing your story.
And that app is called what?
It's called Footprint.
Footprint.
Jasmine is up next at 833-390-KRBE. How'd you catch your cheater? Jasmine, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you guys?
Wonderful.
So,
I understand you have another app you're going to open our eyes to on how you caught your cheater. What's the app?
So technically, it's not an app. That was back in 2010, and he was always very protective of his phone. It was the BlackBerry, if you're aware of that type of phone.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I have been hearing like so many stories about like how there's something going on, and people have been trying to kind of like bring to my attention that you should pay more attention to what's going on and this and that. And he was always protective of his phone. He had like a pin on it and everything. So at some point, the only thing he didn't do was he would have like a backup on his laptop. And there was a pin on the laptop that he didn't know that I caught on.
Oh.
So I bought another phone, the same version of the phone, and then I hooked it up to the laptop, put in the pin, and basically I had a very updated version of his phone on that other phone.
So you had a
And then-
mirror. Wow.
What was that?
Yes,
what was that
exactly.
like though? Seeing like his text or seeing
well,
it? Did you want to throw up? I'd get so sick to my stomach if I saw that.
Oh yeah, and mind you, I had found out that, like 6 days later that I was 6 weeks pregnant, and so what happened was I started taking screenshots and sending, and he was on a guy trip, so I sent it to his phone, like I sent screenshots of the text messages to his phone while he was like in another town with his guys, and he's like, what's going on? And then I was like, don't you see what's going on? This is what I found out. And of course, like, it blew up, and it was like very tragic, of course, given the situation. And we had been together for so many years prior to even getting married.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it was very interesting. And of course, it blew up into like, oh, I'm so sorry, and I'll make this better, and for the baby, let's try it one more time, and all that. But
did you?
Unfortunately, I did, but we're not together anymore.
Can I ask you, what were the emotional signs? Like, obviously there are clues, but was there a difference in his personality and behavior? Like, not being as affectionate, not, doing this or that?
There were so many signs, and I tried to turn a blind eye. So, like, before we got married, there were also signs that I, like, ignored. And then, once we got married, there were also some signs, mind you, again, like right before I had found out, we were actually like, we were living overseas, and we were on a trip to Europe. So we were actually having a good time. But like, even during that trip to Europe, I was seeing some signs of like weird phone calls and things like that. And then, one of my friends, and he had actually bought a gift for that other person. And he claimed it was for one of our friends. And then that friend, she called me and she was like, that was not for me. You should know that. How could you not realize that?
Oh, my gosh. He bought a gift on vacation with you for the mistress?
Oh, a keychain?
Yes.
Oh, my God. What was the gift, Jasmine? What was the gift? I'm curious. What did he buy?
It was an adult toy. He had claimed that he bought it for our couple friend.
What?
And then,
That is the stupidest excuse I've ever heard.
I got to buy one of these for my buddy. Hey, Eric,
my
I was on vacation. I bought you a sex
thanks,
toy.
man. This is awesome. A Hawaiian one.
That is insane. The stupidity of the lies of cheating men just astounds me every time. That's unreal. Jasmine, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go.
By the way,
you mirrored the phone.
Somebody text if you get the Land, Air, Sea tracker. I just went on Amazon, $9.95, and that one isn't like Apple where it warns
it notifies your phone.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
won't notify
is,
your phone.
Yeah, that's what they said.
is,
I've never used it. I'm just going by what a texter said.
if you had your own AirTag, like we do it with our luggage, and you just say plop that in your spouse's trunk of their car.
But it comes up
But
on
it
their
says-
phone. It says
That's what
you
we're
are
telling
being
you.
tracked
Told you
by
3 times.
AirTag.
So it comes up on their phone or yours?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Right. So that's
so then
not
you
going to
would
work.
get caught.
That's why
So don't
people
do
are
it.
saying use the
That's-
Land,
okay.
Sea, Air tracker. Type that in. It's $9.95.
I'm bad with technology.
But they say you can't do this if you're not married to the person because that's illegal if you throw on
you
somebody's
can't just do it to
card.
someone.
Yeah.
That's not
Spy on somebody.
married
No,
to
that's
you.
creepy.
That is very creepy.
Eric, why'd you give me that bag?
Yeah, here, hold this Sam for me.
Strange. Y'all go to the listener line at 713
I see what you do to Mean Girls. I see what you're doing.
That's 8368 on your phone for How'd You Catch Your Cheater. Now, coming up next, of course, the biggest game of the year was played last night in New Orleans, the Super Bowl.
Would you say the most boring game?
Yeah, that one too. But there is something that was not related to gameplay that had people on social media furious. And it almost makes me laugh when people say the F-bomb to something so not aggressive. And I'm like, I don't understand why this made so many people angry. But there were millions of Americans who were distracted the whole game and they were pissed off. But what ticked them off that maybe you didn't notice? We'll talk about it in Scoop next on The Real and Ryan Show with Eric.
Time for your daily scoop. Celebrity Scoop.
KRBE's Rule and Ryan Show with Eric.
Takari Arandas brings you Scoop. And guess what else I'm going to bring y'all? A Moody Gardens Valentine's Day staycation.
Love that place. So many great memories.
Y'all, the last time I stayed there was for Mardi Gras last year. And those beds are so dang comfortable. I had to ask the manager, what is the mattress name?
Did you buy one?
No. because they don't sell them to the public. They sell them to hotels.
You didn't fall for it.
And I wanted
was going to try and put it in the elevator.
Take it out and then switch
She's
another
gonna
one.
be like, Sam, Kev, I need you guys to come to my room. We're like,
Does
why?
anybody have a cart? Can we get a bell cart, please?
Put something over it.
How are you going to sneak a mattress into the place and then
Just put a
sneak
sheet
one out?
over it. Nobody will know.
That's why they bolt down TVs now, because people try to walk out TVs.
Sure.
I love that mattress so much at Moody Gardens Hotel. It was amazing. Okay. Anyway, you're going to have a great stay there. It is a one-night stay plus a $50 gift card to use during your stay at Moody Gardens Galveston. If you're caller 104, Ahmad. Caller 104.
He's like, oh, man, I'm
You
hungover
could have
from
picked
Super Bowl.
any number.
I'm going for 1004. Just kidding. No, 104. 833-390-KRBE. Ahmad will happily count to 104. And he'll
He
be
might count.
salty until caller
He's not gonna
103.
be happy.
You're not the winner. You missed it by one.
He'll make sure they know that just to get his revenge.
All right, Moody Gardens. It's going to be great. Valentine's Day staycation. Okay, so obviously the Super Bowl happened last night, and it did not go at all how people thought. The fact that the Chiefs had a 0 score until like the end of the third quarter was stunning.
I was shocked.
Stunning. And was like, what? Because the first bad call that people thought was going to go the Chiefs' way, like hashtag rigged, became like a big thing on social
They made
media.
up for it and a few other penalties.
They sure
against
did.
them. But it's hard to throw touchdowns when you're on your back like 40% of the game. He was getting sacked and
the picks he threw.
His lines sucked.
Crazy.
A defense killed him.
Okay, so what was the thing that had the comment world on social media just so angry? It was the score bug, which I didn't even know that's what it's called. Y'all know what the score bug is?
Nope.
I never knew that was the name
No.
of it. The score bug is the visual of what reads the score at the bottom of the screen.
I liked it this
Me
year.
too, because it was so big.
And you could
It was
see like
huge.
kind of like through it instead
Yes.
of blocking things.
The score bug is the thing that tells you what the score is.
But also, is this the first year they did the cartoon representations of the players kind of over in the corner when they were talk about them?
That's more like a Fox thing, because Fox does like a Transformers type of thing
they've always had
anyway
the
for
robots
football.
since day one.
The robots
yeah.
and animations. So...
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. And it was really over the top. It was very New Orleans-y, like when they would do the graphics.
Oh,
it looked
yeah,
like it was
around
really
the outside
awesome.
frame. I like that.
That was really
cute.
cool and colorful. But the score bug had people so mad. The F-bombs that were being dropped on social media, like, what the blank is with this score
I
bug?
don't think I noticed it really.
What basic font person used this score bug? I'm like, what?
Do people just
I
want
noticed
to
how
be
big
angry?
and nice it was.
I mean,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
so silly to get angry over something so unimportant.
Listen, I have complained for years about CBS and how they need to step it up because you can't see it. It's in the corner and it's really small. And
If you're in a
can't
big
tell the
party,
score. Yeah, you can't
and the
see
TVs
it.
across the room, you can't see it.
So for the score bug haters, I would tell the designer of that score bug, bravo. You have me and Sam's thumbs up.
Yeah,
we
we
liked
liked
how
it.
big
It's
it
kind
was.
of annoying though when you watch like basketball. Now they have the court. They put stuff on the court that says law firms and stuff, and it's like just too much.
Well, let's go to predictions that actually came true, but 2 years too late. Tate Mccrae sings Greedy here on KRBE. You've probably heard that many times. But she went viral yesterday because 2 years ago, when the same Super Bowl was happening between the Eagles and the Chiefs won that one, she predicted what the score would be. But it was 2 years too late.
So see, she knew in her head, but she couldn't figure out the timeline in her brain. So she knew this game.
She could have won a lot of money yesterday. Here's the
She doesn't even know
original
football.
audio.
She said she's like, I'm from Canada. I don't even know football.
She was asked to share her predictions. Here we go.
I think it's gonna be 70 and no. Okay, it's gonna be 40 and 22.
Who's winning?
Obviously Philly.
Wow.
Yeah. And guess who was interviewing her, guys? Of somebody who works at Q102 Philly. That's my old radio station. My
really?
mornings.
Oh, wow.
That was a Q102 Philly clip from Rachel Marie. I don't know if she's still with that station, but Rachel Marie from Philly was
I doubt
talking
it.
to Tate
It was 2 years
McCrae.
ago. They probably fired.
And they probably blew everybody out.
Fires likes to fire people every
Yeah,
year.
that's right.
Yep.
So Tate McCrae had the score down, but she had it 2 years too early.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
First she said 70 though.
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, please text me at
That's ridiculous.
37530 if you cleaned up on your squares because the Chiefs had 0 for so long.
My wife won like $350 or $300.
Dang,
Whoa.
good for her.
That would make my day.
And that's
You got
all
the
just
final
from you
square.
and your wife put the money in the pot?
Everyone else, we all put like $5 a square.
Can you imagine if it was just you and your wife? You're like, okay, we're each going to put in some money.
You owe me.
Let's see which. It's like basically just handing it back and forth to your hands.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The Rule and Ryan Show with Eric.
what's going down in H-Town?
104.1 KRBE.
Okay, University of Houston. They have done a new study. They conducted this study. It's their Hobby School of Public Affairs. They found that 62% of Texans, 71% Democrats, 53% Republicans, support legislation that would legalize the sale and use of marijuana for recreational purposes.
Oh, they don't realize how bad the city's going to smell if we make that legal. We learned that in New York and Vegas.
So
it's going to stink.
I live in Greenway area,
smell.
and I'll walk my dog, and I'll see this guy just driving. He's low in his car, driving like 5 miles an hour, and all of a sudden, as soon as he goes by, I'm like, holy crap, that's a lot of weed.
It smells like a skunk.
That takes some balls to be just smoking weed while you're driving.
Yeah, because a cop can not only come by and smell it, but when they stop you, they can still smell it wafting out of the car. So it is a little bit dangerous
that little
to do
spritz
with
of
that.
cologne does not mask anything, buddy.
No.
I don't know who you think you're fooling.
I just don't want the smell around everywhere.
Well, it's
does stink.
it's decriminalized right now, but it's not fully legal.
So here's the deal. About 70% of Texans support legalization that would decriminalize the possession of marijuana for personal use for people 21 and
Can
up.
they make it where you just can't smoke it outside? Like, I can't have a beer. I can't walk down the street.
I would think you'd want to do it outside as opposed to in a room.
No, but everywhere you go, guys, it just stinks. Remember
It does smell.
when we were in
Vegas, when you're walking down now.
Vegas is strong
horrible.
with it.
In New York,
Yeah.
I went to New York for Christmas with the family. Good God,
It's
you could not
really-
escape it. It just stunk like poo everywhere.
I'd rather have that than cigarette smoke smell.
Well, you don't really smell
Well, they
cigarette
both
smoke
stink.
anymore. It doesn't even exist
People don't
as
smoke
much. They really just
cigarettes
don't.
Now, here's something else in
Use your
this
edibles.
study. Something else in the study. The study also found that 70% of Texas residents support the legalization of destination resort casinos. So we want gambling. Politicians, listen.
We gambling, yeah.
And 60% of Texans support legalizing online sports betting.
And why aren't liquor stores open on Sundays?
Chick-fil-A.
And that too. Chick-fil-A.
They're a private entity.
Chick-fil-A.
That is their business.
I know,
if
but
they
I
want
thought
to
that
stay
yesterday.
closed.
How much money they leave on the table every Super Bowl that nobody can grab a platter
Or
for
maybe
them.
that's smart. Maybe by doing that, it makes you want it more.
Maybe.
Did we talk about the food truck that pulls up in their parking lot called Side Chick? On Sundays?
No. What's this about?
There's a food truck that
She
pulls...
buys it on Saturday, reheats it,
No,
sells it on
somebody
Sunday.
makes it.
They just sit in the parking lot on Sundays when it's closed.
So
it's
And
called
it's
Side
related
Chick.
to the actual Chick-fil-A?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, that's funny.
They probably just go and pull in there, when people are.
In what location,
Oh, wow.
Kev?
I don't know. I just read it online. It might be fake.
I think
Clickbait.
it's fake.
Clickbait.
Yeah.
Hey, real
That's a
quick.
good idea, though.
Because our texters know everything, let me throw this your way. I talked about how comfortable the bed is at Moody Gardens, and you'll ask me if I bought one, and I couldn't buy one because it was only sold to the hotels. This texter says there's a furniture store in Kerrville, Rula, that sells new hotel mattresses to the public. My sister made me drive out there with her to get one.
Oh, this is the Hilton special.
Yeah,
But
I've
you gotta
never
tell us the
found a
name of this
hotel bed.
Kerrville furniture store.
I've never
the
found a
Motel
hotel
6
bed that's
softy.
more
I wanna-
comfortable than my personal bed.
I want a good used one. I want
Ew.
there's been some people living
Broken in.
Yeah, broken in there.
That
I
is
cannot.
foul.
No, think how much
Grody.
drool is on those pillows and those sheets and that
Drool is
mattress.
the least of my
Crunchy.
concerns.
Yeah, I'll take the drool.
You gotta take your own pillowcase
That's
because
the
you're
least.
sleeping on people's
Right.
drool on your cheeks.
Are you sure it's drool?
Yeah, that's not drool.
Stop it.
Moving along, did you miss what happened on Roses today with the update? Well, Samantha, you remember last week, she's dating a doctor who
Dr.
works
Jake.
at a hospice, and he has an adult daughter named Rebecca who was stirring up some stuff. And then we confronted him, and, he sent the roses. So you're going to hear the recap. You're going to hear the update. How did the weekend go? Find out next on The Real and Ryan Show with Eric.